I started dancing when I was 14, I think, 13 or 14. There was a girl at my school, Kellyanne Beatty, her name was, that was in my year level, and potentially may have tried to ask her out on a date, which I failed miserably, but she said she did ballroom dancing. I think it was on a Tuesday night at East Burwood Primary School. And I went home that night and said to Mum and Dad, okay, I said, I want to go here tonight. And they took me and basically never looked back. So I started at Marsh Air, doing my bronze medals back then, East Burwood Primary School, and then followed Mark and Cheryl when they moved to their permanent location at now Marsh Air Fentrigally. My favourite is actually Latin. My best is probably New Vogue, I guess. Depends, it's changed over the years. Early on in my dancing, I only did Latin, and Ballroom New Vogue was pretty much just a warm up. But I guess essentially I like them all. But I guess I've had the most success doing New Vogue for sure. I had taken a break for 6 months. I walked away from dancing altogether, and I came back actually and just was dancing with, I was having a lesson a week with Chelsea Richardson, an ex-professional and teacher here for a long time, and she sort of reintroduced me back to teaching, and then with her help there was a possibility of a tryout, and at the time I was almost A grade, not quite. I was B grade in I think all three styles as an amateur, and they'd said that potentially you should think about turning professional. Back then, which was I think 1998, 1999 maybe, to turn professional you could then teach, or to teach you had to be a professional. So it wasn't like today where you do your level O or anything like that. So that's why I started teaching. But to go on from that, actually, I used to think I was pretty good until I actually took my first lesson, and Rachel Ziegersma was her name. And I always remember your first lesson as a teacher, I guess, and the first thing she said to me is, "You're really good, what do I do?" And at that point I realized I don't know, and then I actually started learning. For a start, my first order of to-dos was to learn all the girl steps in everything, Latin, Ballroom, New Vogue, because I started taking a lot of lessons very quickly, and I literally was learning the routines almost a day or a week ahead of where I had to teach them. Especially Ballroom, that probably was the biggest jump. I had no idea how to do ladies position, ladies hold, fall away slip pivots, spin turns, and then of course as I started to teach it, I started to understand the step and the routine better. So therefore I could actually lead a bit better, and I could understand what I was trying to do. That's probably the biggest jump. Obvious answer is going to be I was lucky enough to be crowned champion, professional champion in 2014 in New Vogue, which was a lifetime aspiration and a lot of work. But it's probably equal to I guess, in a dancing perspective, actually my first comp. So raw and no idea what I'm doing, and being told you got to wear these high-waisted pants and you wear a sparkly shirt, and went out there, and my choreography consisted of me standing still and my partner dancing around me. And even then I still didn't do that very well. And then they gave me a trophy. It was just sheer elation and enjoyment, and no concept of any timing routine. You walk out there and just arms up and smile and away you go. So that's probably, I guess, equal from one at the start versus one at the end. Yes, 100%. I met my wife, Angela, and she was a student, and not exactly sure who made the first move or who sourced who out. But yeah, it's definitely a very common thread. She used to dance before she came to Marshare. She was extremely successful in her own competing and amateur career, but it's something that has brought us together, and sometimes an ongoing topic of conversation at home about dancing all the time. So one of the bits of advice I got was, you can't control the music, you can't control the floor, and you can't control the judges. So just control what you can control. It was always, I guess, a very big one. Another one was probably listen to the music. Everything is about the music, which can be very easy to be forgotten, I think, sometimes. I guess another one is make sure you've got all your dance costume in your bag before you leave. I danced an Australian professional final not wearing my pants once because I didn't check my bag. Came third. For all my lessons that I've ever taken in the last 20 years in students, I've said and sometimes threatened or whatever, but now is the time that I think, with everyone lockdown, isolation, everyone sort of, a lot of sadness in the world, I am happy to show that anyone, if you work hard, can be successful, and whether that means winning or just enjoying your dancing. I've given Erin my first couple of videos of my first 2 or 3 competitions to share with you. I implore you to laugh, because I laugh when I watch them, about how bad they are, about not closing feet, that bloody spin turn and double lock thing that I couldn't get. And then, it's a blink, and 27 years later, you're out there and it's a professional, and you might be winning or whatever. But if you stay the journey, hard work pays off. I can show you right now on this video if I can do it, and I did it all as a Marshare student from beginner all the way to the top. Enjoy.